Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 17 for this season, otherwise entitled Time Bomb. But of course, before we get into the rest of the video, let's actually watch the trailer.
Secrets are like walls. You can't really know someone with walls between you.
This should all be over.
It's too late.
What do we do now?
Tell your father. Tell your father everything.
So last episode we had the whole, oh, is it the takedown of Cicada? And then it was the takedown of Cicada. And then, oh my god, Grace is Cicada from the future? What the hell's going on here? Starlab's got absolutely dabbed on. The whole thing's destroyed. And, well, not destroyed, just like the cortex sort of thing got sort of collapsed. Anyway, Team Flash is like, what the hell? We thought we'd won. And then all of a sudden, we lost. So it was a big flip of what's going on there. And Eobard, well, he's sort of screwed, isn't he? But yeah, yesterday on YouTube basically broke down and videos couldn't upload for like 5 or 6 hours. So my review went up. If you've not checked out, we'll link it down in the description down below where I go over more in depth about everything. So if you've not checked it out, go check it out. But before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis for this episode, which gives us a bit of idea as to some other stuff that's going on that's not in the trailer. But of course, throughout this video, let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to the most in this episode, your various thoughts and stuff like that. I'm interested to hear them. Team Flash finds out that a suburban mum named Vicky Bolan is in danger and they race to save her. Upon meeting her, they discover she's a metahuman who is hiding her abilities from her family. Barry encourages Vicky to share her secret with her family, which makes Nora realize she needs to come clean with her parents about Thorn. So yeah, there is a decent amount to pick out and talk about from this trailer, as well as some stuff that is not featured in the trailer, but we will first talk about the stuff that was put in the trailer. So let's go. So we start off the trailer by saying none other than the goddamn time sphere from back in season 1 of The Flash, and also Legends of Tomorrow season 2. Now, I was not expecting this. My jaw didn't hit the floor because I think that's like not realistic unless like I fell over, but it did open slightly because that's how surprised I was to see this. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think many people were expecting it. Now, one of the big complaints that people had about the ending of last episode was that Grace, showing up as an older version of herself, might I say, who is now Cicada, didn't make sense to them. I mean, how could she time travel? Are her powers that OP that she can time travel or something like that? And I wasn't one of them, as if you've been watching my Flash videos, we knew that episode 17 would be a Grace-focused episode, so I just assumed that they would explain it. I wasn't expecting the time sphere, but yeah. I mean, it would be pretty difficult to explain how she got there in the middle of her kicking ass in the middle of Starlabs and then trashing it. Like, what's she going to say? Stop there and go, oh, by the way, I traveled back due to this. Unrealistic. So this whole episode is going to be a Grace episode for the most part, so I thought they would explain it. But in regards to the time sphere, as I said, we saw it in season 1 of The Flash, as well as season 2 of Legends. Now, in season 1 of The Flash, it was destroyed by Barry when he returns from not saving his mum. So this couldn't be that time sphere, I guess, unless it was in the Flash Museum and it was repaired by Grace or someone in the museum. And then with the Legends version, it was used by Damien Dark, so he could time travel. But I can't remember what happened to that one, or if they even explained where it ended up or where it was sourced from. I'm not 100% sure. If you know, let me know. But it will be interesting to see how Grace came about it and possibly who helped her. Because as we saw in both of The Flash and Legends, a speedster is needed to open a time portal, or whatever you want to call it, or the time stream, for someone to travel with the time sphere. The contraption itself doesn't do that. It was just a vessel for someone to travel through time safely. In season 1 of The Flash, Barry did it for Eobard, and in Legends season 2, Eobard did it for Damien Dark. So is Reverse Flash doing a double cross and working with Cicada, but then he's in the prison, so how would he do that? Or is it another speedster, such as Godspeed, helping her? We know he's coming in episode 18, the episode after this, so that could be the tie-in there. Or is there another piece of tech that allows the sphere itself to open a time portal and travel through it? Hopefully that does get explained, because we just know that a speedster is supposed to help the sphere, as we have seen in previous seasons of shows in this universe. Now we then see Sherlock, at least I'm pretty sure it's Sherlock. I mean, we've had about like 69 different versions of Harrison Wells, so give me a break if this isn't Sherlock. But anyway, we see Sherlock with a question mark sitting in Welzabard's chair from back in season 1 with a secret little compartment opening on the side. Now I don't know specifically what this will tie into or what this compartment is. If any of you have any thoughts on this or know, let me know in the comment section, of course. But you think it will have to tie into Sherlock discovering more about Nora and what she is up to. Maybe this has some data on it, or maybe it allows Sherlock to get some information from the time vault, something along those lines. But when it is something straight from the source of Welzabard, you would have to think it will be important in some way in this episode. I do find it funny that he is wearing like Welzabard's glasses though. I guess you can't sit in the wheelchair unless you wear them. It's like how you can't go in a restaurant if you aren't wearing shoes. It's like a requirement and a law. Now we do see Eobard Thawne in his future cell in the year 2049 and well, shit hit the fan last episode in regards to the plan that was set up for Nora to do, didn't it? We can see the clock or timer thing tick under 12 minutes. And that's less time than an oven pizza takes to cook. So not a lot of time there left for our old mate Eobard. But yeah, that plan is screwed, and as Eobard does say in the trailer, it's too late. It is too late to work up another plan that could work in the amount of time left to whatever that timer is counting down to. Now, I did see some people annoyed that the Cicada story is continuing because we should be moving on to Eobard, but I think this actually adds to Eobard's story. I mean, what was he going to do once he got out? Tell me, because I don't know what he was going to do, but something is making Eobard scared, and this setback adds to the tension of all of that. I can't wait to see what happens here personally. I mean, Nora's breaking down, freaking out, she's stressed AF, so it should be super interesting to see what goes down between these two, and how the introduction of Grace as this future Cicada mixes everything up in regards to what Eobard plans to do next. But it does seem that the two might try and think up a quick plan or two, but I think it's pretty obvious that that will be quite difficult, with Nora asking what they should do now, which is then when we hear Eobard say, tell your father everything. Which then in the trailer has us see Nora turn to Barry in a quite slow and dramatic way, with Barry tearing up quite heavily, almost as if he has just had his heart broken, which is a testament to Grant Gustin. I can already tell he is going to kill it in this part of the episode. Don't know why I'm surprised though. But earlier in the episode, we did have Barry speaking to Nora about, secrets being like walls, where you can't really get to know someone with walls between you two. And as we know, Nora is keeping a few secrets in her back pocket, or a few walls just casually in the back pocket. Bit of a war between her and her father, even though they are getting along pretty well this season. Now, the synopsis does talk about an event in the episode with the quote-unquote meta of the week, if you want to call it, that Vicky Boland, and that makes Nora realize that she needs to come clean with her parents about everything that is going on with Eobard Thawne. However, I think the synopsis just puts it that way, as they couldn't really reveal other events from episode 16 that affect this episode, because this synopsis came out I think 2 weeks ago, because, spoilers for this episode. So, or even for episode 16 as well. So I think that telling her parents is like a last ditch effort to succeed in whatever Eobard and Nora are setting out to do. Nora needs his help to save her father, and Eobard, well, he's screwed regardless. He just needs help in general, regardless of who that is from. So that is the thing I am really looking forward to in this episode, that whole reveal, as we as the viewers have been, waiting quite a while for this, really since episode 8 mainly. We had those interactions between Nora and Eobard in the past during the season 1 time, and then in 2049 as well throughout the season, and also in that episode. It will be interesting to see what Barry's straight up reaction to this is. Obviously we saw him tearing up, so he's going to be a bit emotional, but I want to see if he does get angry as well. And the last thing to talk about is some Grace Cicada stuff. We do get a shot of the future Cicada, who is of course Grace, and she appears to be in a hospital lobby or something like that, or the hospital lobby. You can see children's artwork in the background, so this must be the children's wing, which would make sense as to what will be going down here with the younger Grace. Now we also see Barry as the Flash quickly in a hospital room, most likely Grace's. You can see him looking out the window briefly. And I did see some people going oh my god, can't they just cure Grace and stop the future from happening? It's not that hard. Which, yeah, when you put it like that, it's pretty simple. However, they can't just stick the cure in Grace willy-nilly, because she could die from her injuries. Cicada, that thing in his chest, that could kill him if they didn't seal it up and stuff like that, which they didn't do properly. Killer Frost had to ice it up, so he's not fully recovered. So her being a meta, Grace being a meta, is essentially keeping her alive. She is in a coma, but she is still alive. That piece of the satellite that was in her head and affecting her brain, Bebo knows what could happen if they take those meta powers away from her, which are basically, were sort of keeping her alive because of what that piece of the satellite did to her. Like, if they cure her without figuring stuff out beforehand in regards to how to keep her alive or what's necessarily straight up wrong with her, she could just collapse and die right there and then. And I'm sure Team Flash won't do that, well, wouldn't want to do that to a child and have a child's death on their hands, because she's alive at the moment. But if they give her the cure, which they think might help her, it could actually make things worse and actually kill her. And sure, that would stop this massive future threat of the future Grey Cicada, but you're also killing a, 11-year-old child, which is, it's pretty grim and a bit dark. So Team Flash this episode will basically be just trying to figure out a way in which to cure her injuries before applying the cure, or figuring out a way in which to keep her alive after administering the cure. And all of this will be happening while trying to stop the future version of Grace from flossing into the hospital and taking her younger self away in order to protect her current future self. It's confusing, I know, but I still think that makes sense. We will also get flashbacks with Grace in this episode, as we know from set photos that will go over her parents' death and all of that, and we could even see some future Cicada Grace in action, or maybe just before she took on the mantle of Cicada. It should be interesting to watch. But as we know from that episode 12, when like Nora's in Grace's mind, we know that Grace hates Metas probably more than her uncle. So we know that she has some deep down resentment, which goes into her, future self in this, more lethal version of Cicada. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this video. What are you looking forward to the most in this episode? Do you like the whole Grace Cicada thing? I personally like it. I understand if people don't like it, but for me, it's working and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, leave your various opinions down there in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.